Guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Train. Yes, we love you for watching always. And if you're not yet a subscriber, hit the subscription button so that you become part of our family. Yes, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much. Today's video is about the questions that interracial couples get asked most. Question that most interracial couples get asked is, how did they meet? And I think most interracial couples that are out there, they always get that question asked from people, how they are able to find their partners, because people are curious to know how an African girl can be a white man or an Asian, so people are curious out there. Yes, and they want to know if you made via work, they want to know if you met on a dating site or a dating app because now it's so popular. Yes, and if it was online, people find it so interesting because it's something unusual. Want to know how someone can meet someone on the internet, from social media, because it is something so unique because not most of people do that. So they want to be told that into details. Question is, what is it like being in an interracial relationship? Since it's an interracial relationship, people want to know if it's unique from any other type of relationship, whether it is challenging, and people will get to ask that question because they want to know the connection and how does it feel to be in that certain relationship, and how two people can be able to overcome the challenges that are in that type of relationship. We're able to overcome the challenges, and most are interested into highlighting the positive, all the good things of being in an interracial relationship. Because in some African countries, people believe that being in an interracial relationship, for example, with a white man, is going to treat you so differently from a local man. So whether it's different or it isn't, because there is a myth that goes on that that whites are so good, they can't do some certain stuff to ladies, but it's different because everyone is brought up differently. So that question is, how does the family feel about the relationship? That's what people are curious about. They want to know if there is family rejection when couple faces all the reason, and also when it's contributed by cultural differences, all that. People are curious. They want to know, they want to be educated. The question is, how does one handle culture differences? We want to hear how you are able to overcome the culture differences according to what country he or she comes from. They want to know how the culture differences were overcome, or there was some assimilation due to the culture differences, or there was some compromisation, or there was some neglecting one's cultural practice or norm. Question A, how do you handle language barrier? Here, the one in the family, there is someone that does not understand a certain language, and if he comes from a country where they do not speak English, so people want to know how is it communicating with his family members, whether there is use of translation devices or translation, yes, or there is teaching of each other's language, something like that. So that's what people want to know. That's why they get curious, and that's why these are the most asked questions that interracial couples get asked a lot. Sixth question is about racism and prejudice. People want to know that if he comes to your country, first racism, because most people will look at him as someone, a race where were the ones that were able to colonize some African countries. Some people look at it like that. And if you go to his country, people want to know, how were you treated? Were people over staring at you just because of your color? And also, people disliking you just because of your color? So they want to know if there is some racism and prejudice that comes with being in an interracial relationship. These questions are most highly asked by people that want to get into this type of relationships. So it is so good if one answers these questions honestly, so that you do not mislead someone, so that he or she doesn't hope for something that is not gonna come, or is not just going to yield such fruits that she thought were in that certain relationship. Seventh question is, how do you plan to raise your children in the future? Yes, people are curious to find out how you're going to be able to raise your children, whether you'll be able to teach them both cultures, since you are in an interracial relationship where the children are told the culture of the mother and also the culture of the father, so that it is combined, and the children can be bilingual when they understand the culture diversity. Or if the children won't be, oh, will just learn one culture one-sidedly. That's what they want to find out, because sometimes there are some people that bring up their children when they're only told one culture, which isn't good, because the children have to be taught both cultures so that they know the father's culture and also the mother's culture, so that they know that they belong to both sides, don't belong to one side. Because in the near future, there will be people that will be able to attack them that, oh, you're mixed, but you're reacting and also trying to be or acting in a certain way that does not proceed like you come from both cultures, but like you come from one culture one-sidedly. To navigate any culture differences from the early age and also know the different languages that will help them to communicate to both families that may face language barriers. Question is, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced? And when answering this question, when somebody asks you, is on the potential differences, the culture differences, especially the dowry part. If one is not knowledgeable about it, there are some challenges that may come with that. Someone may not try to understand you and also carry out that cultural practice because he believes that in his culture it is not done like that. So if he's not able to understand you and he does not do it, and ends up like breaking the relationship. So people want to find out that type of challenge that you do face and also how you do navigate it. Yeah, the ninth question is, does one feel that he or she has lost their cultural identity? Yes. When interracial couples get asked this question, people want to find out if you are in a certain relationship, like this type of relationship, interracial relationship, when you're from different cultures, wants to find out, do you get so immersed in one's culture that you forget your culture, or when you're in that type of relationship, do you adopt to your partner's culture and neglect your culture, or do you practice both cultures, or you don't, or you neglected one? So as you know, most interracial couples get judged just because they're in that type of relationship, and people don't know a lot about that type of relationship, so they start to assume what they think is that and that. But it shouldn't be like that. You should respect someone's relationship and do not make assumption. So yes guys, that's the end of our video today, and if you have not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe so that you become part of our family. Yes, thanks for watching. Love you. Ciao ciao.